Welcome to Listen2Riches. Today, I would like to introduce you to a book titled Decision Quality with a subtitle Value Creation from Better Business Decisions. The philosopher Albert Camus once said, "Life is the sum of all our choices." Whether it's as small as deciding what to have for lunch or as significant as choosing a career path or a life partner, decisions of all sizes shape our individual journeys. The importance of decision-making is undeniable, but making wise decisions is often easier said than done. On one hand, the ever-changing world is fraught with uncertainty. On the other hand, inherent biases and cognitive habits in human nature often hinder us from making high-quality decisions. We are easily influenced by authority figures, tend to jump to conclusions hastily, and once we make a wrong decision, we often seek various reasons to justify it. Therefore, the ability to make quality decisions is not innate, and few people receive formal training in decision-making. Consequently, the capacity to make high-quality decisions is a rare skill. Decision quality offers an efficient set of decision-making methods and tools. It is not only applicable to CEOs and managers in companies, enhancing their leadership, but it can also assist ordinary individuals in making wise decisions in both their personal and professional lives. The three authors of this book, Carl Spetzler, Hannah Winter, and Jennifer Meyer, are seasoned business decision experts from the United States with 40 years of research and practical experience in decision theory and behavioral science. They have developed an effective high-quality decision system eagerly adopted by Fortune 500 companies for training programs. And this book has become the designated textbook for Stanford University's Strategic Decision and Risk Management Certification Program. Next, I will introduce this book from three aspects. Firstly, I will explain what constitutes a high-quality decision and the elements it encompasses. Secondly, I will delve into the biases that hinder us from making high-quality decisions and how to overcome them. Lastly, I will discuss how to apply high-quality decision theory in practical life and work to make wise decisions. First, let's explore the first aspect. What is a high-quality decision and the elements it comprises? A high-quality decision involves selecting the optimal option in the given circumstances. To make wise decisions, we need to break down the various elements of decision-making. The authors believe that every decision can be broken down into 6 elements, and only when each element reaches a high-quality standard can we make a high-quality decision. These 6 elements are: 1. A suitable frame of reference. 2. Creative options. 3. Relevant and reliable information. 4. Clear values and trade-offs. 5. Solid reasoning. 6. A commitment to action. First, let's discuss the first element, a suitable frame of reference. This means that we need to clarify what the problem at hand is. If there is no appropriate frame of reference during the decision-making process, even a straightforward problem can become infinitely magnified. The book provides an example. A couple wanted to renovate their home. The husband suggested repainting and recarpeting, while the wife believed they should redo the kitchen and the game room. As the discussion progressed, they decided to rearrange the bedroom and make other changes to the house. The more ideas they generated, the more money they spent, and they eventually considered moving. This story teaches us that before making a decision, we must first find a suitable frame of reference and identify the core problem that needs solving. So, how do we determine the frame of reference for a decision? The authors offer a tool called a decision hierarchy. In essence, this tool categorizes decisions into 3 types. 1. Decisions that have already been made and are considered as fixed conditions requiring no further discussion. 2. Decisions that require attention and need to be made promptly. 3. Future or separable decisions. Among these, the second type of decisions is what we need to focus on. For instance, in the case of renovating the house, the couple determined that they would not be leaving their current residential area for at least the next 5 to 10 years but wanted to improve their living environment. After calculating the costs, they found that their financial situation could support either renovating the existing house or moving. These fall into the first category of decisions. Based on this, they pinpointed the core question that needed immediate resolution, whether to renovate the current house or move. As for how to spend the rest of their lives and which parts of the house to renovate, these fall into the third category of future or separable decisions. Let's delve into the second element of high-quality decision-making, creative options. After establishing the decision framework, the next step is to identify a set of creative and high-quality options. This set of options should encompass as many possibilities as possible, and decision-makers may even need to seek unconventional and innovative alternatives, such as seemingly radical corporate strategies or unconventional marketing approaches. However, the number of options in this set should not be excessive. In simple decisions, typically 3 to 4 options suffice, while in complex decisions, there can be 4 to 7 options. Moreover, these options must be well-balanced and distinctly different from each other. The book provides an example where a strategic decision team, of which the author is a part, is considering whether to move their office. They have 3 options. The first option is to stay put, as the current location has favorable surroundings and is well-liked by clients, but it requires significant renovations and rent is increasing substantially. The second option is to move to the trendy downtown area of Palo Alto nearby, which is attractive to young employees. The third option is to select a newly constructed office building to the north, which is cost-effective and conveniently located near the highway, but the office space is smaller and not as upscale as their current one. These 3 options meet 2 criteria for good options. They are distinctly different, and each is a viable choice. So, how do we find this creative set of high-quality options? This process can be divided into 2 phases, expanding and narrowing. In the expansion phase, we need to explore as many good ideas as possible within a reasonable time frame. We can ask questions such as whether there are better options or if we've covered all possibilities. In cases of collective decision-making, discussions and brainstorming with others can be beneficial. During this phase, it's essential to pay attention to conflicting viewpoints and think beyond conventional boundaries. Typically, this stage generates numerous reasonable options. Then we need to narrow down these options into a list of the most attractive choices representing different directions. The third element of high-quality decision-making is relevant and reliable information. Quality decisions rely on having access to information that is pertinent to the decision and dependable in helping us predict the potential outcomes and probabilities associated with each option. Relevant information includes data that aids in evaluating the potential value, such as costs, benefits, market size, and so on. Reliable information refers to accurate and objective data, often supplied by trustworthy experts. While there isn't a one-size-fits-all solution for estimating the probabilities of each option, acquiring more relevant and reliable information can contribute to more accurate probability assessments. The fourth element of high-quality decision-making is clear values and trade-offs. In essence, this means that when making a decision, we must understand what we genuinely desire, particularly when making trade-offs between multiple important factors. The book introduces a method called equivalent exchange to help make these trade-offs and decisions between different values. This approach can assist in identifying one's true priorities and making choices when faced with multiple alternatives. Lastly, how do we determine which option is the best one? This is the fifth element of high-quality decision-making, a robust argument. This means that we should assess which option aligns most closely with our objectives through objective calculations rather than relying solely on subjective intuition. The book introduces a tool called decision analysis, which helps us evaluate the value and probability of each option, resulting in an expected value for each choice. This expected value is not a literal expectation but a probability-weighted average used to gauge the value of each option. Through this method, we can make a more objective evaluation of the merits of different options. To better understand these concepts, let's illustrate the decision-making process with a concrete example. Imagine a scenario where a person, Mr. Aaron, faces a significant career decision with three options. Option 1 is to stay in his current job with an annual income of $500,000, which is guaranteed. Therefore, the expected value of option 1 is $250,000. Option 2 is to switch to a startup company with an annual salary of $350,000, but if the company succeeds, he'll receive $600,000 in the second year with a 50% probability. So, the expected value of option 2 is $137,500. Option 3 is to join another startup company, but there's a 50% chance it might fail. Assuming Mr. Aaron can find a new job at the industry average salary of $400,000 if the startup fails, the expected value of option 3 is $97,500. By calculating these expected values, we can gain a clear understanding of the value and risk associated with different options. However, real-world decisions are often more complex. We need to consider additional factors like the possibility of returning to the original company, personal values, interests, and development opportunities. When people make job choices, they might prioritize these aspects more than just financial gain. Therefore, we can use various methods to calculate expected values, incorporating factors like satisfaction, career development prospects, and company benefits into a comprehensive assessment. Let's summarize the 6 elements of high-quality decision-making. They are the framework, options, information, values, arguments, and actions. However, understanding what constitutes high-quality decision-making does not necessarily mean that we always make wise choices. In practical decision-making, we often encounter various cognitive biases and thinking traps, which bring us to the second aspect of our discussion. Next, we will explore the cognitive biases that hinder us from making wise decisions and the methods to counter these biases. The book primarily discusses 5 crucial decision biases, which include narrow framing bias, high-quality decision illusion, consistency trap, comfort zone bias, and advocacy and approval fallacy. Firstly, narrow framing bias refers to the tendency to rush into problem-solving when establishing the decision framework without thoughtful consideration, resulting in overly restrictive decision frameworks. This bias arises primarily because the human brain struggles with highly complex issues, leading us to oversimplify intricate situations. However, if we start by addressing the wrong questions, it becomes impossible to achieve high-quality decisions. Secondly, the high-quality decision illusion indicates that we often overestimate the quality of our decision-making. The book reveals this by using an example from a training program showing that participants frequently overestimate the quality of their decisions. In reality, our decision quality is usually much lower than what we imagine. Thirdly, the consistency trap is a group decision bias. Even decisions that reach unanimous agreement within a group are not necessarily of high quality. In collective decision-making, individuals may disregard information that supports other options due to concerns about disagreeing with the majority, leading to bias. The fourth bias is the comfort zone bias, which refers to our tendency to address familiar problems rather than the ones that truly need solutions. This bias results in our overlooking larger opportunities or challenges because we prefer to stay in our comfort zones. Lastly, the advocacy and approval fallacy are a group decision bias that can cause those presenting solutions to be unwilling to offer better alternatives, while decision makers may also struggle to genuinely assess the merits of the proposed solutions. To counter these cognitive biases, the author presents 3 methods. Firstly, before making decisions, we should remind ourselves not to act impulsively and ensure that we've found an appropriate framework. Secondly, we can cultivate new thinking habits, such as actively challenging past beliefs and using the 6 elements of high-quality decision-making to assess the quality of our decisions. Lastly, building diverse decision-making teams, inviting people with different skills, personalities, and perspectives can help avoid biases. Next, we will discuss the third aspect, which is how to apply high-quality decision theory to enhance our decision-making abilities in real-life situations. The author provides a method called the high-quality decision assessment cycle. The purpose of this cycle is to precisely identify and overcome weaknesses by repeatedly executing the steps of high-quality decision-making. The high-quality decision assessment cycle consists of 5 steps. Step 1. Develop a preliminary framework for the problem. Step 2. A preliminary review of the 6 elements of high-quality decision-making. Step 3. Evaluate the current quality of each element. Step 4. Improve the weakest link and then reinitiate. Step 5. Make the decision when all elements reach 100%. Let's explain this process through an example. Robin is the curriculum director at a state university's College of Education in the United States, and he loves his current job. However, due to a reorganization, his position will be eliminated in 6 months. Although he's confident about finding a new job within the university, a friend recommended an intriguing position as an assistant director in a new foundation. If he takes this job, he will have the opportunity to collaborate with executives, engineers, and scientists. But he would need to leave behind the familiar university environment, relationships he's built over the years, and face new challenges. Following the high-quality decision assessment cycle, Robin first formulated a preliminary framework for the problem, which is, what is the most suitable job for me in the next 3 years? Next, he meticulously examined the 6 elements of high-quality decision-making. Since he had only a few days to consider and new options were unlikely to appear, his options pool included continuing his current job and accepting the new foundation assistant director position. Then, Robin contemplated the values he cherished the most, including work flexibility, learning and growth opportunities, and the impact of his work. He assigned decision numbers to each option and assigned expected values, considering how the realization of these values would affect each option. Robin then proceeded to the third step of the high-quality decision assessment cycle, evaluating the current quality of each element. He realized that he hadn't thought deeply about the possible outcomes of the 2 options and lacked sufficient information. To improve this weak link, he consulted university colleagues and checked the school's recruitment information but didn't discover new insights. For the new company job, he obtained background information on some executives and board members. Although he didn't find any negative information, the fact that they were about to retire made him concerned about becoming the youngest and least experienced member of the company. After considering these factors, Robin slightly lowered the expected value for the foundation job, thinking it might not be ideal for him. He then reviewed his numbers and realized a bias in his probability assessment of the foundation job, so he made adjustments and recalculated the expected values. In the end, Robin decided to accept the foundation's job. His decision was made after careful consideration and felt right to him. He took quick action by creating a checklist for his new boss to ensure he could maximize his skills in the new role. He also developed a strategy for leaving the university to avoid burning bridges or damaging important relationships. Robin's story demonstrates how to apply the high-quality decision assessment cycle to make wise decisions. While we may not be born excellent decision makers, high-quality decision theory offers us a tool to practice in less complex decisions, gradually applying it to more significant life choices. Sometimes, the key decisions in life are hidden within choices. While we can't predict the future, high-quality decisions can create more opportunities to achieve our desires. With that, we have completed the basic introduction to Stanford's business decision-making course content. We might not be natural-born excellent decision-makers, but luckily, we can continually strive to make our decisions of higher quality. Congratulations on completing another book. Thank you for your support and attention. Please subscribe to Listen2Riches, like, and share this valuable knowledge with your friends. Let's combine wisdom and practice to achieve our financial goals and create a better future. Thank you, everyone. See you next time.